So you are listening to Saima Dillon on Heart to Heart with Saima, and I come to you every Thursday from 1 to 2. We talk about different things. We talk about real estate. We talk about life. We talk about building wealth. So we talk about multiple things. Welcome to Heart with Saima. All right. So, I feel and the reason I started with that song is because I feel you might, as an individual, be searching for your creator, for the energy in the universe, whatever it is that you call um, the energy, this divine energy, this spirituality, whatever it is that you call. um, I feel that everything that you are searching all over the world or wherever, it all lies within you. I feel that our creator has made us complete. So whatever it is that we are searching for, we will find it all within. I feel that our Creator has created us so complete. And, we have what a brilliant, amazing creation we are. There's a mind, there is, there's a heart, there's a mind, there is, we have a conscience, we have intuition. ये इतनी सारी रूह है आत्मा, ये आपका ज़मीर, हर चीज़ हमारे अंदर मौजूद है हमें मुकम्मल करने के लिए. What an amazing creation a human being is of the creator. So whatever it is that you feel that you need to be able to uh, use specific, whether it's using a certain name, आप God बोलें, खुदा बोलें, अल्लाह बोलें, आप जो भी बोलें, but we sometimes get lost in the minuteness of things. We get lost in, we're going to, later on, we're going to go in and we're going to talk about guilt. Uh, Something within us, things in life might go wrong. And we attribute the life challenges to, oh, you know what, maybe I did something wrong, and that's why I'm being punished. So I feel कि why would your creator punish you when your creator loves you? I feel कि ये रिश्ते, ये जो प्यार के रिश्ते होते हैं, ये सबसे स्ट्रांग होते हैं. And we don't when we start focusing on guilt, and fear is being used to kind of fear is being used to make us feel and be scared and be afraid. And I feel to me, and I understand that that is what might work for the masses or most people, and it doesn't matter to me. But I feel to me, everything is about, the foundation is love. And to me, fear, guilt, these feelings, ये जो जज्बे हैं, ये जो जज्बात हैं, they should not be used to force people into conditioning people. So, having said that, here's something I'll share with you. It says, the seed said to the tree, "Do not look at me, for I'm not worthy of being seen." And the tree replied, "I look at you with pride and admiration, for I see your potential and capacity for growth and transformation. For I was once as small as you are, but am now fully grown. I was once submerged in darkness, but am now anchored towards the light. And I was once buried underground, but have now ascended to greater heights. And everything you are, I once was. Everything you are experiencing, I once experienced. And everything I am, you will one day be. This is Talia Hunter's words. Um, so I feel that fear and these emotions are used to fill you with guilt, to fill you with fear, to fill you with anxiety and anxiousness, to make you feel that you're not worthy, but you are worthy. I feel life is not meant to be moving on a plateau, on a just perhaps the word might be stability, I don't know. But uh, life is not meant to just go on a very smooth path. Life के अंदर challenges आते हैं because the universe wants to jolt you into into bringing change. I think all all these are life experiences which teach you, which not just teach you, but they either you learn by choice, and when you are not willing to learn by choice, then at that point, the universe is forcing you and putting you in situations to bring change in your life and to bring big change in your life, because life is all about change. हम अपने certain patterns के अंदर जब चल रहे होते हैं, when we are living in certain um, we become complacent. हम चीज़ों को फॉलो कर रहे हैं, 9 to 5 के जॉब पे जा रहे हैं, घर आ रहे हैं, खाना खा रहे हैं, बच्चों को स्कूल से पिक कर रहे हैं, उन्हें खाना दे रहे हैं, उन्हें बिस्तर में डाल रहे हैं, और फिर हम खुद सो जाते हैं, और फिर दूसरे दिन हम उठते हैं, और फिर इट्स दैट रूटीन विच जस्ट कीप्स कंटिन्यूइंग. और जब वो रूटीन कंटिन्यूसली चल रही होती है और उसके बीच में ये हरिकेन आता है या सुनामी आती है जिंदगी की, एंड इट जस्ट जोल्ट्स यू एंड इट शिफ्ट्स यू, and हम सारे बिखर जाते हैं, and we are scattered and we are lost, and we have to put our bits and pieces together to start rebuilding our life. But I feel all that happens because life is telling us, hey, and I do feel कि बहुत सारी warnings भी आ रही होती हैं, change, something different needs to be done. And yes, it can be devastating, but again, शायद ये नजरिए की बात है कि if you allow that change to enter your life, perhaps it does become something beautiful and something amazing, and perhaps that's what life is all about. This friend of mine, who who went through a divorce, and recently, and her dad said to her that why is this happening to my child? Why is it happening to मेरी बेटी के साथ, मेरी बेचारी बेटी के साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? And my friend stopped her father and said, Dad, stop. First of all, do not call me bichari. Second of all, I'm not a bichari. I'm a strong, courageous woman. I'm a kick-ass woman. I'm not a bichari. I'm strong enough to take care of whatever is happening. And whatever is happening, isme koi achai hai. Look at my life. I'm going to change it. I'm going to do whatever I need to so I can bring happiness in my life. And sometimes when you go through something like that, that's when you start realizing that, oh my God, all this happened because I was not really happy before. But now that this is happening, I actually see the rainbow. I see light at the end of the tunnel, and I see what the universe is sending my way. I see what the creator is sending my way. So the book, we're going to talk about this. वैसे तो the first half is about real estate, and since I usually get carried away with my philosophical chatter, so we one of the books. So मुझे 19 years हो जाएंगे October में since I got my real estate license. कहाँ जिंदगी गुजर जाती है, कहाँ ये वक्त गुजर जाता है. One of the books. Which is the first one of the first books that I purchased at that time and that I read was a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. So अगर 3 जुमलों में इस book को मैं summarize करूं तो Rich Dad Poor Dad is basically, it's a book, the author's name is Robert Kiyosaki, and he talks about his two dads, एक उसके real father and who he calls the poor dad, and एक the father of his friend who he calls the rich dad, and the ways in which both men shaped his thoughts about money and investing. You don't really need to earn high income to be rich. Rich people make money work for them. And मैं आपसे जब भी real estate की बात करती हूँ तो I tell everyone, and I preach this on every single show, that you know what, become real estate investors, help your kids become real estate investors. Don't worry about जो कि देसी कल्चर के अंदर है कि वो हमें शादियां बच्चों की करनी है, हम बच्चों की शादियों के लिए जमा कर रहे हैं. So don't save money for weddings. Help your kids with the, as an investor, as a first time home buyer, or co-sign with them, help them with the down payment money, help them with the signing, help them become real estate investors. आपके बच्चे colleges में पढ़ रहे हैं, help them buy that first house college campus पे, where it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. They live in one bedroom, the smaller one, and they rent out the other two units. And they start, so the other people who are staying in the unit, they start contributing towards paying off the house. And the target should always be in 10 to 15 years time, one after another, even as your kids move, you put in let the house continue paying itself off by having students stay there. Always have one person who's living in the house as the gatekeeper, doing property management. Instead of charging them 1,200, you charge them 800. Let them make sure that they have the best tenants in there, or perhaps some kind of a percentage based on how the other occupants, how the other renters, what they are contributing towards the mortgage. This is the best way for you to start building, to start make money for you, to make money work for you. So 5 big ideas from the Rich Dad Poor Dad. So the poor and the middle class, they always work for money. The rich have money, work for them. It's not how much you make that matters, it's how much money you keep and you save to build something that matters. Rich people acquire assets, and poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. So it makes your mindset. The name of the game is mindset. आपका नजरिया क्या है, आपकी सोच क्या है, आपका चीजों को देखने का नजरिया क्या है. एंड नजरिए से बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. मुझे इतने साल हो गए रियल एस्टेट में, हाइज देखे हैं, लोज देखे हैं, फ्लिपिंग की है, अलग अलग तरीके की रियल एस्टेट के अंदर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स की है, लॉसेस भी देखे हैं, गेन्स भी देखे हैं. But standing where I'm standing 18 years down the road, I will tell you this, that every single experience of life was preparing me for something. It was preparing me for what I'm working on right now, for what I'm doing right now. Rich Dad, Poor Dad में Robert Kiyosaki says, financial aptitude is what you do with the money once you make it. how you keep people from taking it from you, how to keep it longer, and how you make money work hard for you. The single most powerful asset we all have as individuals is our mind. And this is where I started the show when I said that, I think the most dynamic creation of our creator is the human race. Human beings are so dynamic the way our creator has made them, with a mind, with a heart, with a soul, giving us a conscience, giving us intuition. ये अलग अलग चीजें जो हमारी हमारे हमें इतना कंप्लीट और मुकम्मल बनाया है कि हम सारी दुनिया में जाके चीजें ढूंढ रहे होंगे, हम सैड होंगे, हम खुश होंगे, हम तलाश कर रहे हैं. Perhaps we are seeking something in life. We are trying to, we are trying to seek what is our purpose in this world. But while we are doing all that, all the answers that you seek, जिस चीज को दर आप सारी दुनिया में ढूंढ रहे हैं, वो सारी चीजें, you're going to find them within you, inside you. When you build up the strength and the courage to be able to sit with yourself in silence, and you spend time getting to know yourself, you will discover yourself and you will discover who you are and your purpose in this life. Anyone who says money is not important is a liar, is a fool. Because money is extremely important in this world. Money will buy 80% of your happiness for you, if not. I've been told by people that money will buy 100% of your happiness for you. I don't think it's 100%, but I think it's a very, very high significant number. That's what money is. Whether you like it or you don't like it, that's the reality of this life, the importance of money and making money. Mindset. Your mindset is what life is all about. The way you think. Your mind is the most brilliant tool within you. And of course, the heart balances it out so that there's always a balance, because balance is necessary in life too. It also means that when you make something, it's not just yours. It is, when you make something, you should make an effort. You should be aware of everyone in your surrounding and what you can contribute towards others as well. You're listening to Heart with Saima. I am talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad Lessons. It's a book by Robert Kiyosaki. And अगर आपने ये book नहीं पढ़ी है, तो ये book का नाम, इस book का शुमार हर top 10 books के अंदर होता है, from a financial perspective, that everyone should read. And this is the first book that I actually bought and I read when I got my real estate license. Some of the lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad are that, that the rich don't work for money. The importance of financial literacy. Mind your own business. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. The rich invent money. Work to learn. Don't work for money. There's a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary. Poor is eternal, because it's a mindset game. अगर आपके दिमाग के अंदर पैसे की अहमियत नहीं है, तो of course you're not going to work towards building money. Money comes and goes. But if you have the knowledge about how money works, you gain power over it and you start building wealth. People's lives are forever controlled by two emotions, and those emotions are fear and greed. And I personally feel that fear is something you should overcome, and greed is something that you should balance out, because whatever it is you make, some of it is meant to go out there, and you are supposed to contribute towards people who are around you who need it, and you help them stabilize. Thinking that a job makes you secure is basically lying to yourself. Intelligence solves problems and produces money. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability, and you must buy and invest in assets. An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes money out of your pocket. Illiteracy, both in words and numbers, is the foundation of financial struggle. Money often makes obvious tragic human flaws, putting a spotlight on what we do not know. But cash flow, jo hai, it tells the story of how a person handles the money. These are just some extremely important things. Knowledge. Go out there. मुझे कोई भी मेरी डेस्क के ऊपर बहुत सारी किताबें पढ़ी हुई हैं जिनको मैंने नहीं पढ़ा है, बिकॉज मुझे कभी भी कोई बोल रहा होता है, ओह मैं कुछ भी सुन रही हूँ, उसके अंदर दे से दिस इज अ मस्ट रीड बुक, तो आई इंस्टेंटली गो ऑन Amazon एंड आई ऑर्डर द बुक, और वो डिलीवर हो जाती है, और वो मेरी साइड टेबल के जो स्टैक है उसके ऊपर ऐड हो जाती है. But so I need to, you know I need to bring reading books back into my life, because मैंने पिछले कुछ सालों में बहुत कम कर दिया था रीड करना. I instead I was listening to a lot of motivational stuff on YouTube, but everyone needs to read. So 1:30 होने वाले हैं. We are leaving for a break. This is Saima Dillon, VIP@saimadillon.com. There are a lot of different kinds of opportunities which we are seeing in the market. Builders giving incentives. We are seeing one of the best cities where where phenomenal growth is happening right now is Aubrey. Aubrey has phenomenal growth happening, and Aubrey is a great place. It's probably around 15 minutes, from PGA headquarters. 380 and Tollway. This is where all the action of Collin County is happening right now. Phenomenal growth that we are seeing, that we have seen in the past, 10, 12 years, 15 years, the phenomenal growth that 15 years probably that we have seen in Frisco, and we have seen how Frisco, Texas has just changed. Texas is one of it's the amount of relocation happening in Texas makes Texas number one right now, because इतने लोग यहाँ पर move हो रहे हैं, the growth that is happening, the corporations which headquarters which are relocating here, the growth is phenomenal. If you are thinking, and if you have been thinking about becoming real estate investor, it is the growth in Texas is phenomenal. If you're wanting to become an investor, there are multiple different aspects of real estate through which you're able to get involved in investment. It all depends on how much money you're wanting to invest. You are able to put money into other people's funds who are building real estate wealth. You are able to, on a smaller level, go out there, buy homes which are $300,000, put in a tenant for $18 to $2,000, put 30% down payment, and start. Yes, interest rate is high. The Fed recently even announced that interest rate is going to go through another increase. It did go through an increase recently as well, and it did announce that it is going to go up again. But this is what is called a small window of opportunity. This is a small window of opportunity when most people in real estate, through real estate investing, they become rich. Because right now the prices have gone down. When the interest rates start dropping again in the next year and a half, 2 years time, at that point there are so many people in the market waiting to buy, watching, sitting there waiting and watching. that they're going to jump on this opportunity. They are going to jump in to buy when the interest rates start going up. And again, there's going to be a frenzy, and the frenzy is going to make home values go higher. The frenzy is going to increase, the rents which are being charged on homes. So if you want to stay focused on the interest rates going high, that is up to you. But this is the time when we are not even seeing too many foreclosures. Foreclosure is at its all-time lowest right now as well. So there are different things happening in the market. Market is, even though not at the same pace as it was a year and a half, 2 years ago, but the market is still staying steady. The foreclosures हो सकता है background के अंदर ही they're being picked up by investors on the back end, but based on the numbers that we are seeing, even the foreclosures are on the lower side. So we have 30 seconds before we go back into the radio. We've been talking about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a book by Robert Kiyosaki. And if this is not a book that you have read, then please order it and read this book, because you know, it's a pretty amazing book. And it helps you change your mindset, because mindset is everything. Welcome back. You're listening to Heart with Saima. I come to you every Thursday from 1 to 2, and I believe in touching lives. If you're listening to me, you're either listening to me on 104.1 FM, 700 AM, or you're listening to me on jointhecaravan.com, which you are able to go on from anywhere in the world, and you're able to listen to me. You are able to listen to my show at your convenience and at your leisure. Um, अगर आप काम पे हैं और अभी नहीं सुन सकते, या अभी ड्राइव कर रहे हैं किसी मीटिंग पे, या किसी को मिलने वाले हैं, नहीं शो सुन सकते, तो आप यूट्यूब के ऊपर जा सकते हैं अंडर साइमा Malik Dillon, and you are able to go on YouTube, and wahan par the show is under live videos. So it is under live videos. Or agar aapko nahi milta, so you are more than welcome to message me at VIP at simadillon.com. VIP like Victor India Papa at simadillon.com, and I would be more than happy to send you the YouTube link of it. 972-244-3106. 972-244-3106. This is Saima Dillon. By profession, I am a real estate agent. I do commercial real estate as well as residential real estate. And commercial real estate ke andar, some of the things that we are working on, there is a 6.4 acre plot of land which is around 90 days from receiving all the permits for to build townhomes. Agar aapka iske andar interest hai, a VIP at simadillon.com, 972-244-3106, 972-244-3106. Do message me. If you call me, please leave me a message or text me and let me know what it is that you're looking for, so I can get back to you, because I don't just return missed calls. I need to know what the purpose of the call is before I call you back. So having said that, we have been talking about building real estate wealth, and we've been talking about, reading this book, which is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And Rich Dad, Poor Dad is all about teaching you that so much is about your mindset. आपका नजरिया, जिस तरह से आप चीज को देखते हैं, जिस तरह से आप चीज के बारे में सोचते हैं, talking about that वो जो नजरिया है, um, जब आपकी इनकम हाई होती है तो आपके टैक्सेस भी हाई होते हैं. दिस इज बेसिकली अकॉर्डिंग टू रॉबर्ट कियोसाकी, दिस इज नोन एज अ ब्रैकेट क्रीप, बिकॉज द मोर मनी यू हैव, द मोर टैक्सेस यू हैव टू पे. यू हैव टू फिगर आउट के जैसे पिछले मैंने अभी रिसेंटली एक पॉडकास्ट किया था which was on building wealth, and I did that. It is, you'll find it on YouTube under Saima Dylan. You will find it under live stream, because I live stream all my shows. And the show was talking about building wealth. It was talking about कि अगर आपके पास wealth है तो कुछ ऐसे तरीके जिनसे आप अपने टैक्सेस को रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं. एंड टैक्सेस को रिड्यूस करने के लिए so one of the things that my guest on building wealth who came on, Sharif Medawar, he was talking about how he lives in Puerto Rico, which is part of the US, and living in Puerto Rico, how he creates corporations and how he channels out and does things जिसके अंदर वो अपने taxes reduce कर सकते हैं. तो जब आप build wealth कर रहे होते हैं तो you should start becoming creative in how you are able to build equity, build funds. You are able to channel out, be creative. So wealth build करने के लिए भी you are able to get creative, right? There are ways to do it, but it's all in the mindset, like Robert Kiyosaki says. A person can be very highly educated, successful, but is financially illiterate. Many financial problems are caused by trying के आप सारा अपना पैसा चीजों का आप उन चीजों में लगा देते हैं, driving the best cars, driving this and that, your lifestyles, but you don't really have a whole lot of savings. But वो savings जो हैं, that savings, or at least what 25 to 30% की savings that you need to start becoming a real estate investor, to start investing in real estate. The problem with just working hard each day is each of these levels take a great share of your increased efforts. You need to learn how to have your increased efforts benefit you and your family directly, which means कि आप सिर्फ मेहनत करते जा रहे हो, बहुत तालीम आपने हासिल कर ली है, but आप सिर्फ मेहनत कर रहे हो, but you are not investing so that your money can make money for you. So you might be a physician, which means that you're making a lot of money. But अगर आपको अगर कुछ होता है तो आपकी वो income रुक जाती है because you are the product. The same thing goes with myself. I'm in real estate. I'm a real estate broker. अगर मैं काम करना बंद कर दूं तो मेरी income भी रुक जाए real estate की. So what is necessary is to have that mindset to build something, and to build something dynamic, to create, to congregate the amount of money that you need, and to start investing that money in real estate projects, in bigger projects like apartment complexes or hotels. And you start getting involved in these projects, and you start building something for yourself and for others at the same time. Robert Kiyosaki says the rich buy assets, the poor only have expenses, and the middle class buys liabilities they think are assets, but they are not really assets. The rich focus on their asset columns while everyone else focuses on their income statements. Financial struggle is often directly the result of people working all their lives for someone else. जब आप पूरी जिंदगी अपनी किसी दूसरे के लिए काम करके गुजार देंगे तो फिर it is someone else who's going to become rich and not you. To become financially secure, a person needs to mind their own business. And that is one of the reasons that I keep saying, okay, help your children while they are young. be in that mindset where they are able to become, teach them independence, teach them to stand on their feet, teach them, give them tools, help them with the money that they need to start generating, to start building real estate assets. 15 years time, the assets should get paid off, and your kids, if they started at the age of 22 and they have paid off assets generating them $10,000-$15,000 in passive income, by the time they are 35, they are in that position where they are able to build a business of their own, because they are generating enough passive income where they don't need to worry about, they're not hand to mouth, they don't need to worry about कि घर कैसे चलेगा, bills कैसे pay होंगे. Because पूरी जिंदगी इंसान की energy, it does not stay the same. So that mindset is just very, very necessary. A new car loses basically 25% of the price you pay from the moment you drive it off the lot. Keep your expenses low, reduce your liabilities, and diligently build a base of solid assets. For yourself, help your kids, it's the mindset. And the mindset needs to be whatever it takes, let's do this together. According to Kiyosaki, real assets fall into the following categories. There are stocks, there are bonds, income generating real estate, notes, royalties from intellectual properties like music or scripts or patents. Anything else that has value, produces income, or appreciates and has a ready market. He says that for people who hate real estate, they shouldn't buy it. Kiyosaki says that he generally holds real estate for less than 7 years, because 7 years के अंदर enough, इतनी equity उस asset के अंदर build हो जाती है कि if you were to go and sell that real estate in 7 years and you take the money out from it, then you use that money to buy another bigger asset, or instead of one, you use that money to buy two. And you keep doing this 7-year formula, and you keep investing and you keep growing. In 7 years' time, when you keep rolling and when you keep this game going, you are going to have a paid off asset in 7 years. So again, there are multiple ways. It is up to you what you choose to do and what is your comfort level. अगर मैं बहुत सा दफ़ा क्लाइंट से मिल रही होती हूँ जिन्होंने अपने घर को किराए पे डाला होता है, और टेनेंट ने उनको has given them a hard time, टेनेंट ने पेमेंट्स रोक दी होती हैं, या टेनेंट से उनको सू किया होता है किसी चीज़ के लिए, डिफरेंट चीज़ें, एंड फिर वो right away they're like, oh my God, I can't do this. But I tell those clients of mine that ये जो गेम है, this game, this being a real estate investor, ये एक जिंदगी में हर चीज ही एक गेम है. It is आपका नजरिया, how you handle it, your mindset. जब आप real estate investor बनते हैं, you should have enough money sitting in the bank account to take care of contingencies. There are ways to do it. There are the show on Tuesday where my guest came on, and he said that 10 years ago, जब उसने real estate में start किया था, और उसको ये property मिली थी that he went to buy, he actually had to he did some seller financing from the seller, and then he had to get some money from a hard money lender, क्योंकि उसके पास down payment के लिए भी पैसे नहीं थे. And he was in his, probably in his maybe in his 30s at that time. He had just gone through a divorce. He was a single father. He had 2 young kids, so he had responsibilities. But he went out there and he took a chance on himself. And that is important to do in life. You have to take a chance on yourself to be able to change your life. Because if you keep working for someone else, then the rewards are going to go to someone else. So there are two kinds of people, right? People who are very selective about taking chances in life, तो उनको वो अपनी true potential को reach नहीं कर पाते हैं, no matter how dynamic those people are. And then there are those people who keep taking chances and who keep taking a leap of faith, and they fall and they fall and they fall. Yes, they might be hated by a ton of people. There might be a lot of family members around them. There might be people who say, you know, gosh, he is always in this miserable place because, he doesn't get a break. But it is those people who keep trying and who keep challenging life, who persevere and who break the barriers. So you have to have that X factor. So transitioning into having talked about the book and building wealth and real estate in the past 20 minutes, now that we are in the last 10 minutes of the show, we're going to talk a little bit about the things which hold us back as human beings. I talked about this earlier. Fear. Fear is used by people to always tell you कि oh, ये नहीं करोगे तो वो हो जाएगा, ये नहीं करोगे तो वो हो जाएगा. अपने बच्चों के साथ हम ये करते हैं. We do this to our children, right? कि अगर तुमने बात नहीं सुनी तो we'll lock you in the garage, or you are going to go into timeout, or this is going to happen, or so we use fear for conditioning to make kids do things that they won't otherwise do. But here's a different concept. How about building that relationship, which, mind you, is not easy, especially in our lifestyles over here, where we are constantly running. And हमें jobs भी कर रहे हैं, और फिर हम बच्चों को भी संभाल रहे हैं, और फिर हम घर आके खाने भी पका रहे हैं, and we are rushing kids to all these different classes that we think is going to make them into Einstein. तो हम ये constantly, ये हमारी एक भाग चल रही है लाइफ के अंदर. But अगर हम अपने बच्चों के साथ वो relationship बनाएं, and where your child is angry and आप उसके साथ communicate करें, and you try to figure out if the child is angry, if the child is not talking to you, या आपके बड़े बच्चे हो गए हैं and वो बच्चे आपसे बात नहीं करते, या तो उनके पीछे क्या वजह है? या kids who hurt themselves, kids who harm themselves physically, why do they harm themselves? उसके पीछे क्या वजह है? हर चीज के पीछे कोई ना कोई वजह होती है. So why not try to figure out what the reasonings are? What trauma are your children carrying? Because trauma carries through generations. So what is it that your children are carrying with them? What is it that they absorb from the household environment? Guilt and shame can lead to depression, anxiety, paranoia. But they also nudge us to behave better in certain ways, right? But guilt jo hai, it holds you back. If you let it get to you that, oh gosh, a major life challenge आपको hit करता है life में, and you are like, oh, ये मेरे साथ हो रहा है या मेरे बच्चे के साथ हो रहा है because मैंने कुछ जिंदगी में कुछ बुरा किया होगा. तो जब भी आप उस guilt को अपने ऊपर लेते हैं and you kind of engulf yourself in that guilt, or something you feel that you might not be proud of, it holds you back. It doesn't let you move that guilt because it makes you feel guilty. And these are the signals that you are sending to your brain. Okay, I'm not good enough because I did this. And यही मैंने चीज की होगी जिसकी वजह से, this is happening to me. Because हमें ये, बचपन से ये किया जाता है कि, oh, you're not good enough because tumne shor kiya hai. You're not a good child because you create a ruckus. Instead of trying to understand why the child who creates a ruckus creates a ruckus. What is the reason? What is bothering them? What is hurting them? But what we do is, as society, we isolate the people, we isolate children जो ruckus create करते हैं. Instead of trying to understand कि क्या वजह है, हम शोर हंगामे से, we feel कि it's okay for us to hit the child, right? Hit the child कि चुप होके कोने में बैठ जाओ अगर आप, if the child doesn't listen to you. Instead of trying to reason, trying to understand what is it, right? Because as a society, we only understand, we only want to accept those children जो माँ बाप की सब बातें सुनते हैं, जो हर वो चीज़ को follow करते हैं जो माँ बाप कहते हैं. Those children are considered to be the good children because they are, वो फर्मा बरदार हैं, they are obedient, they listen to everything. But maybe this is something, maybe you need to start. If you have a child who throws a ruckus, who throws tantrums, maybe instead of conditioning them, or instead of putting them in a corner, or instead of telling them, itna tang karta hai, ye, wo, falana, maybe understand why the child does what the child is doing. So guilt is used are things which might be coming from where you feel you're not good enough. So here's something that you can practice. Go and look at yourself in the mirror. Okay? Stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror. Most people are not even able to look yourself in the eyes. And you can't make eye contact with other people either. But you can't make eye contact with yourself in the mirror because aapka guilt, all those emotions that you are consumed with, will not let you look at yourself in the mirror because you feel that you're not good enough. But you know what? You are good enough. If you have been sent to this earth, you are good enough, always. And you matter. You might have a belief system, or you might have certain hormones, or you might be feeling certain things which might not be agreeable to the people around you or in society, or certain aspects of the society. But you know what? You are exactly who you are because that's who you are meant to be. Love yourself, love your children unconditionally. Guilt holds you back. It's a very powerful emotion. It's an emotional response that accompanies feeling responsible for a negative outcome. Mistakes are a part of life, and it's natural to experience guilt when your decisions or actions have negative repercussions. In fact, guilt is a powerful learning tool for personal growth अगर आप उसको उस तरह से use करें. But if you let guilt consume you, then it's going to, वो आपके mindset को change कर देगा. Every single word that you think, whether it's I'm not good enough, अगर आप, you feel crappy and you're like, man, I'm a piece of this and I'm not good enough, then those are the triggers. That's the message you're sending your brain. And that's what you're telling your brain, that, hey, I'm not good enough. But that's not how it's meant to be. The words in your brain, they matter. And मैंने बहुत दफा ये बोला है कि take a piece of paper and write down all the words which are in your brain. Happy, sad, broken, piece of crap, whatever it is, horrible, this, failure, successful, proud of myself, whatever those words are, write those words down on a piece of paper. And then har us word ko, jo ke the word which is negative and has a negative connotation, you switch that word out in your brain and you change in your head negative to positive, sadness to happiness. You change every single word that is in your head, the negative words into positive words. The friend who taught me this, it was 2016 when he taught me this. And he told me that there are times when he's about to go in for a meeting with his manager and he's feeling anxiousness. And before he goes in to see the manager, he quickly goes into the bathroom and he says, okay, what are the words in my head? And the words which are negative words, sadness or guilt or shame or this and that, fear. He switches those words out visually in his head and it changes his mindset. A simple a simple exercise. Whatever you're doing, just smile. If you smile, it will change your whole demeanor. It will change your energy. It will just change everything you're feeling, everything you're thinking. It will change everything. The power of that small action that you can do anytime. It will just change everything, your mindset. So life is all about your mindset. Work on your mindset, and you can change your trajectory. It can change who you are. There's only, you know what, if you sit there and think that the universe is bad, then it will be. It is all your mindset. Have a great Thursday. Hello. Hi, Saima. How are you?
Good. This is Money. Hi.
Hi,
You
Mani.
are
Saima.
Saima. Very nice to meet you.
Same
And I
here.
think our topic will so beautifully
Segue into.
what? Yeah.
Okay.
Said, yeah. It's amazing.
Well, thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Where do you want me to sit?
There'll be a chair there, and you have your mic in here.